It is a significant opening.
This could be the offset chamber.
Another anomaly is this one in the northern tip of the swamp.
Could be the Jack Adams box.
The box.
Jack approached your father and said, hey, I've got a metal target.
Yeah.
Imagine standing deep in the mysterious swamplands of Oak Island. The air is damp, thick with tension, and heavy machinery rumbles around you. The ground trembles as the excavation begins. Then suddenly, everything stops. A strange shape emerges from the murky depths, part metal, part unknown. For a moment, no one says a word. The team gathers around as mud and water drip off the object. It's not a rock, it's not wood, it's something else entirely. For over 200 years, Oak Island has guarded its secrets, traps, tunnels, and tales of treasure buried by unknown hands. But today, something real has come to the surface. Something that might finally prove the legends true. Jeremy Church's latest conductivity survey had already raised eyebrows. Deep red zones, signals of strong metallic presence, lit up the map like warning lights. According to the data, something big was buried beneath the eye of the swamp, right where history suggested the elusive Jack Adams box could be hidden. The team wasn't just excited, they were stunned. The signal wasn't random, it lined up perfectly with ancient theories and even 17th century maps. Could this be it? Could they be standing above a treasure chest sealed hundreds of years ago? Rick Lagina squinted at the readings. Marty leaned in, arms crossed, trying to stay grounded. But you could feel the electricity in the air. The eye of the swamp had always seemed strange. A perfect circle, a formation that defied nature. For years, experts argued it was just a swampy coincidence. But now, those theories are collapsing fast. As the machines continued, the sound changed. A hollow echo rang from below, unnatural and sharp. Even the most experienced crew members looked at each other with concern. Something down there wasn't dirt or clay, it was space, an empty chamber or maybe a tunnel. Everyone froze. Rick walked closer and said, almost in a whisper, "This doesn't feel right. This feels planned." At that moment, the excitement turned to caution. If this was a vault, could it be booby-trapped? Or worse, had someone already been here before them? Meanwhile, at the money pit, another breakthrough hit like a thunderclap. Borehole L15 revealed something incredible. A massive, perfectly structured void 150 feet below the surface. Not a random hole, not nature. It was linear, consistent, deliberate. The sonar image looked like a hallway, or even a chamber. Everyone in the war room went silent. For years, they'd drilled hole after hole, and now finally, they were looking at something real, something designed. This wasn't just another sinkhole or collapsed tunnel. This was architecture. This was history waiting to be unlocked. And the question everyone was now asking, is this the treasure chamber? Could this be the legendary vault that generations of explorers failed to find? Or was this just the beginning of something even bigger? What if Oak Island wasn't just hiding gold, but a secret so old and so powerful, it was meant never to be uncovered? With every dig, every strange noise, and every new signal, the mystery deepens. One thing is clear. The island is finally giving up its secrets, but what's coming next may be even more shocking than gold. So don't miss what's uncovered next. If you're someone who's fascinated by ancient mysteries, forgotten treasure, and real-life adventure, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned, because Oak Island's story is far from over, and the biggest discovery might still be ahead. Could this be the legendary offset chamber that's been rumored for centuries? The sonar scans reveal well-defined walls and a perfectly shaped tunnel, too symmetrical to be natural. The team stares in disbelief. It's man-made, and it's deep. Signals to the east and west show solid materials, possibly wood, hinting at a collapsed vault or hidden structure. This isn't just another anomaly. This could be the treasure's final hiding place. Meanwhile, on Lot 10, a new ground-penetrating radar scan uncovers something massive beneath the swamp. Right where Fred Nolan once believed Oak Island was two separate pieces of land. The data suggests a huge ancient dam system built to flood the swamp and conceal what's underneath. Suddenly, the long-dismissed swamp theory is proven true. The pieces are coming together. The box, the tunnel, the void, and now, the purpose of the swamp itself. It all points to one thing. The treasure is real. With excavation permits approved, the team races to the southern edge of the swamp, where strange discoveries keep turning up. And then it happens. A large, curved wooden structure surfaces from the mud. It looks like part of a ship's keel. Deeper digging reveals a wall of wooden planks, arranged too perfectly to be natural. If true, this could prove the swamp was man-made, and the treasure was deliberately hidden centuries ago. The mystery is no longer a legend. It's real, and what they uncover next might just change history. To make sense of the discovery, the team brings in a geoscientist. What he finds is shocking. A distinct red sediment layer matching the one beneath the ancient stone road. That connection suggests both structures could be centuries old, and part of something much bigger. Could the swamp once have been a loading platform, with a stone road leading straight to a hidden vault? That theory gains momentum when the team revisits old maps and brings in researcher Zena Halpern. One map dates back to 1179, proving Oak Island was known long before modern explorers ever arrived. Another map marks a mysterious location called Rodon, which could link to Henry Sinclair's 1398 voyage and the legendary Knights Templar. For years, theories of pirate gold, lost manuscripts, and Marie Antoinette's missing jewels have swirled around Oak Island. But the Templar theory refuses to fade. Zena's maps feature strange engravings and cryptic French words, like anchor and valve. What they mean, no one knows. But one thing is clear. These clues are far from random. As the team gathers around the old hatch, scanning the ancient maps and connecting the dots, one thing becomes obvious. This mystery goes deeper than treasure. This is about unlocking something lost to time. Something someone may have gone to great lengths to hide. The hunt is far from over, and the next clue could change everything. And then, something unexpected happens. Near the red sediment layer, a strange carved object is found. Stone, marked with symbols no one can identify. The carving seems deliberate, almost like a marker. Could this be a signpost left behind by those who built the vault? As darkness falls, the crew stands silent. What they hold in their hands could be the next piece of a centuries-old puzzle. And just maybe, the beginning of the end for Oak Island's greatest secret. It wasn't just about treasure anymore. It was about solving the mystery of Oak Island itself. The deeper the team dug, the clearer it became. Whatever secrets the island held were buried far beneath the surface. And though gold might still lie in wait, the true prize was understanding the island's past. That's why the Knights Templar theory kept resurfacing. Could they have built a hidden fort long before Prince Henry Sinclair ever stepped foot in Nova Scotia? To investigate, the team focused on a mysterious hatch rumored in old maps. By comparing Zena Halpern's ancient charts to modern satellite images, they hoped to find a match, a landmark that could lead them straight to it. Rick remained cautious. Oak Island had fooled many before, but the crew pressed on, zeroing in near Dave Blankenship's land. Suddenly, things aligned. The map, the shoreline, even a strange bright spot that seemed to mark the hatch's exact location. For a moment, hope surged. Could this finally be it? But as always, Oak Island had its tricks. No one even knew what the hatch looked like. Was it stone, metal, a trapdoor? They had no idea. And now, they'd have to get creative to uncover whatever secrets lay waiting beneath it. Jack Begley, ever the hopeful optimist, was the first to point it out. That bright spot on both the ancient map and the satellite image, it wasn't just a marker. It was a hole, an actual physical hole in the ground. Could it be the very hatch they'd spent years searching for? A hidden entrance, tucked away beneath centuries of earth and legend? For a moment, even the most skeptical members of the team felt the rush. Rick and Rick Lagina stood in quiet debate. The excitement was undeniable, but so were their differences. One saw opportunity, the other saw danger. Still, neither of them could ignore what this discovery might mean. Could the hatch be a portal to one of the wildest theories the island had ever inspired? Whether it was pirates, lost writers, or ancient knights, the possibility alone was enough to push them forward. But this wasn't just about fortune. It was about solving the ultimate riddle. Maybe, just maybe, Xena Halpern's centuries-old maps were the missing key to everything. With every clue, the island was pulling them deeper into a maze of traps, legends, and secrets buried in time. They had faced more dead ends than they could count, but each fragment of progress only strengthened their resolve. What drove them wasn't just the gold. It was the idea that they could be the ones to finally crack what had remained unsolved for over 2 centuries. That hope fueled them as they moved their search closer to Dave Blankenship's land, comparing Xena's maps to modern satellite scans. At first, it seemed like just another shot in the dark, until the shapes began to align. The coastline, the landmarks, it all matched. And then they saw it, a bright, unmistakable spot. Could this be it? The team didn't celebrate just yet. Oak Island had fooled better men before, and there was still one major problem. They had no idea what the hatch even looked like. Was it made of stone, iron? Was it flat, buried deep? They were going in blind, and they knew it. But hesitation wasn't an option. The crew set up their gear and began excavation. Every shovelful of earth wasn't just dirt, it was history. The sun beat down, time slowed, their muscles ached. But none of that mattered. In their minds, they could already picture it, lifting a heavy lid to reveal chests overflowing with gold, priceless relics, and the secrets of empires long forgotten. The image was too powerful to let go of. This wasn't just a dig. It was a mission, a chance to etch their names into history. Days turned to weeks. Progress was slow, but the finds, no matter how small, kept the fire alive. Pottery shards, bent nails, rusted tools. Each fragment whispered of a time long gone, yet none of them pointed to the treasure, until the radar revealed something else. A hollow spot underground, not far from where they were digging. They shifted direction fast, their adrenaline rising with each passing hour. And then, it happened. A different kind of resistance. Not stone, not soil, something else entirely. The team dropped to their knees, hands and brushes replacing shovels. Slowly, a shape took form. Flat, rectangular, solid, covered in dirt and rust, but unmistakable. It was the hatch. It hadn't been touched for what looked like centuries. Time had sealed it in silence. The crew stood around it, breath held, hearts racing. What lay beneath? A treasure chamber? A deadly trap? Another disappointment? Marty urged caution. They inspected every inch, brought in a metal detector, trying to get a glimpse beyond the lid. The readings were blurry, but something was down there. Something real. And so, the moment arrived. The crew gathered their strength. Inch by inch, they began to lift the heavy hatch. It groaned against time, shrieking with age as dirt fell away. The air thickened with tension, and then one final push, and it opened. What lay beneath wasn't gold, not yet, but it was something just as powerful, a dark void, deep and silent, a hollow blackness that seemed to swallow their lights. And then, as their eyes adjusted, they saw them, stone steps leading down into the unknown. The search for the world's greatest treasure had just reached its most chilling chapter yet, and now The only way forward was down. The steps looked ancient, worn smooth by centuries, damp with moss and cloaked in grime. As the team stood above the gaping hatch, a cool draft rose up from the darkness, heavy with the scent of earth, stone, and decay. They exchanged silent glances, half wonder, half dread. They had found something, but what exactly? With flashlights trembling in their grip, they began their descent. One by one, they stepped cautiously down the slick stone stairs. The beams of their lights barely pierced the blackness ahead. The deeper they went, the more the air grew cold and thick. The tunnel beneath Oak Island was tightening around them, swallowing them whole. But they pressed on, because something was waiting. At the bottom of the steps, a narrow corridor stretched forward. The walls were rough-hewn stone, the ceiling low. They had to duck to move. Water dripped in the distance. The floor was slick, uneven, and full of hidden dangers. Every echo off the stone made it feel like the island itself was watching. The team had entered something far older and far stranger than they had ever imagined. And then, the corridor opened. The chamber was massive, the ceiling arched high above, the walls lined with strange markings, symbols no one recognized. Time itself seemed to cling to the stone. This was not a natural formation. This was built, preserved, hidden. In the center of the room sat a large stone table, and on it, layers of dust-covered relics. The team crept closer, breath held, old scrolls yellowed and crumbling, small chests covered in intricate carvings that matched the symbols on the walls. Carefully, they opened one. Inside, gold coins, ancient, gleaming, real. The excitement was instant. This was it, undeniable proof. Proof that the Oak Island treasure wasn't just a story. It was real. But it wasn't just the coins that left them stunned. At the far end of the chamber stood another door, sealed shut with a massive stone slab. Someone, long ago, had gone to great lengths to keep it that way. They knew they had to go through. With sheer force, the team managed to shift the slab just enough to slip inside. The second chamber was smaller, darker, but somehow even more breathtaking. Along the walls were shelves, and on those shelves, dozens of carved boxes, each one unique, each one telling a different story. This was no random collection. This was curated, protected, hidden. Why? No one had answers, only questions, and more mystery. The team moved from box to box, discovering strange items, artifacts from all over the world. Whoever had created this hidden vault had knowledge, power, and a reason to keep it all. Was this the work of the Knights Templar? An ancient society? A lost civilization? Whatever the truth, they were looking at something that had never been meant to be found. For hours, they documented every detail: scrolls, coins, tools, symbols, the weight of history pressing in on them from all sides. It wasn't just about treasure anymore. It never had been. This was about rewriting everything we thought we knew about Oak Island, and maybe even rewriting history itself. And yet, even with all they had uncovered, it still felt like only the beginning. As they climbed back toward the surface, weary but electric with adrenaline, the team felt a powerful shift. This was a breakthrough, a moment that would echo across the world. The hatch had been real, the tunnel, the treasure, the strange artifacts, they were all real. And they proved one thing. Oak Island was hiding something extraordinary. But the island wasn't done. Not yet. There were still more secrets buried beneath the soil, more doors waiting to be opened, more lies to untangle. The mystery of Oak Island had taken a new turn, and the Laginas were more determined than ever to finish what they started. Could this hidden hatch finally prove that the Oak Island treasure is real? Or is this just the beginning of a far deeper mystery? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're fascinated by real-life mysteries, ancient clues, and treasure hunts like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, because the next chapter is coming, and it could change everything.